Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 12. We've been invited on a hunting trip per Shisho, but we are the ones being hunted. And romance, kiss, kind of. Oh my god. We're trying to tell Mao Mao who we actually are, but what that's led to is a very close interaction between the two lying down.
Yeah, as you've brought up, this is a real mix of two very different genres. You know, like you said, it's a horror movie where you end up being the one hunted on the hunting trip, and CPR, and then accidentally falling on someone's chest from a great height. La la la.
Yep, I'm excited. You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh my god. Skip the intro. It's the only time I've wanted to.
I'm almost expecting when the episode title comes up that it's going to say part 2.
We're finally wet.
We're finally going to learn the truth. I think. Hopefully.
I don't even care anymore, man. Don't let Lee Haku walk in on us like this.
Please let Lee Haku do that. It's better than Basen being the one that finds us like that.
Yeah.
Lee Haku would be like, oh, okay, I get it.
I mean, honestly, Lee Haku kind of owes us one after Jinshi walked in on us with Lee Haku, right? If
Lee Haku would be like, you're gonna be my brother-in-law.
If Shisui is Lao Lin, what a awesome narrative connection to have that be within the same season as this assassination attempt.
There it is, and now we've seen it. They might think that he's taking a rather long time.
Immediately began a search.
It's not impossible.
2 hours.
2 hours! Oh my god. Because he's a guest.
Ooh, that are pure formalities.
Oh, he doesn't want to. He's taking his sweet time.
Apothecary. それにかすかな香の匂いも。しかし、そんなことよりもこれ。なんだ。さっきのカエルか？にしては大きいような。
すまないが、その手をどかしてくれないか。触りがあるんだが。
触り
No, it's not a frog.
高級に立ち入る宦官にあってはいけないものだ。だが、ある。思い当たることはいくらでもあった。でも考えるのを無意識に避けていたのかもしれない。
Good on you.
のような顔をしているが、紳士様は
ある意味説明するてお前に伝えたいことがある。
ダメだ。これ
今回ついてきてもらったのもそのため。
知ってしまえば墓まで持っていくことになる。
薬や俺は
申し訳ありません。カエルを潰してしまったかもしれません。
は？カエル？いや、カエルでは。
カエルです。カエル。
Get the message, Jinshi.
早くここから出ましょう。
The determination.
誰がカエルだと？
カエルでなかったら何なんでしょう。
カエルはもっと小さいだ。
この季節、そこそこ大きいカエルなどたくさんいます。
そこそこ。
そこそこです。
おい、何手を拭っている。
いや、カエルって気持ち悪い。粘液を出しますし。
誰が粘液だ。
とにかく何事も知りすぎてはよくない。紳士様と私は交換と下女。それ以上でもそれ以下でもない。強い以上の秘密なんていらな。
確認してみるか。
挑発が過ぎた。
You did.
どうする？蹴りを入れるべきか？
なんだ
Good dog.
Bad dog. What are you talking about?
Hugging him.
どうしたんだえ嬢ちゃんどうしたんだそんなところで
His plans were thwarted.
フェイファで狙われて滝に飛び込まれたと撃った者の顔までは見えなかったがなんで嬢ちゃんがこの方といるんだよ
説明しづらいとしか。
ああまあいいけどよ
I love Lihaku so
こ
much.
たびの狩りフェイファを持ってきている者は2を改めるかしかし
客は師匠様に招待された交換ばかりです。暗殺の道具を手元に置くような真似はしないかと。笛で呼ぶ以外に何かしつけをしていますか？
ああ、ウサギの穴を探すくらいはできるみたいだが
We could hide guns in a
愛
burrow.
嬌はあるが。高専様。
なんだ
怒ってる。まあ当然か。あの行動に出られてつい煽って
You
しまう。
called him slimy,
ジン
bro.
様は何かを伝えようとしていた。なのに知りたくないからとめちゃくちゃな言い逃れをした。カエルもさぞやご立派であろうにそこそこなどと。
The more important thing was he was trying to tell
言
you
うべきこ
something.
とは言わねば。もしかしたら先ほど発砲した人物を特定できるかもしれません。
Pretend it worked.
なんだこちらを川の岩場に引っかかっているのを発見しました。早く捜索しろ。急げ。今さら慌てたところで遅い。では、私も捜索に加わってまいります。
Actor Lihaku. I love this song.
どういうおつもりです、紳士様。
If all those people are out searching, they're gonna find the guns.
なんだ。申し訳ありません。しつけのなってない犬だ。
Or the opposite.
が、こちらも衣と一緒に。鷹の羽。鷹狩りの験担ぎにこしらえたものでしょうか。申し訳ないが、皆の荷を確かめさせてもらえないか。見つけました。
We do the luggage search without bringing up
発見
guns.
したものと同じ矢です。知らない。何かの間違いだ。誰かが私の矢と入れ替えたんだ。私を陥れるために。ロエンの動揺は本物に見える。部下たちの様子にも違和感はない。では他に落ちている矢がないかを調べてみてはいかがでしょう。川辺以外の森の中もしっかりと。しっかりと森の中を探せ。うまく食いついてくれるといいが。
So the person that hid the guns is probably gonna run off to where he hid them
Yeah.
to then.
どういうことだ。矢なんて知らんぞ。
そこに何かあるのでしょうか。
Holy shit, Mau Mau.
返せ。貴様、さっきの。
ずいぶん犬に嫌われているようです。
He can smell gunpowder.
この匂い、鼻のいい犬ならすぐ反応します。狩りに犬を連れて行かなかったのはこのためですね。
Ah.
Oh.
Shoot him, Mau
中
Mau.
身は押収済みです。フェイファが3丁入っていました。
3 instead of 2.
おそらく。なるほど。金属の部分で火を起こすのか。
そう。崖の上で撃たれた時と同じ匂いです。それを撃った人間についた火薬の匂いも嗅ぎ当てるのですから。賢い犬です。
お前は偉いな。
Can we keep the
カマ
dog?
をかけるためとはいえ、出汁に使われたおっさん。
Honestly.
姿を消したかと思えば突然
衣の切れ端を見せられてこの男に合わせろなどと、私は一体どうしたことかと。すまない。状況は
He's like, oh, that's why.
The status, just in them walking away.
その後、覆面の主賓は山荘に戻り、狩りの宴は3回となった。
He deserves that after being framed.
表向きは覆面のお方の気まぐれということで処理された。その宴でとある艦の一派が消えたことは周知の事実だ。今後あの者たちが表舞台に出ることはあるまい。だがジース様の代理としてここにいる自分はそれを気にする立場にない。
He's there in place of Jinshi.
まだまだだな。
宦官にはつまらない思考だったかな。
宦官となりマーの名を捨てガオシュンと名を改めた。だが宴の折にはマーの家の者として扱われる。
Wow.
それにしても麗しの宦官殿が今回の狩りに参加されなかったのはちと残念だ。
こたびは覆面のお方が来ていらっしゃいますから。
あれだけ美しいお顔が参加されたらそれだけで嫌味になってしまいますからな。覆面のお方はご尊顔にひどい火傷の跡があるとの噂。帝も心配でしょう。あれが東宮とは。
ええ、あれか。東宮への敬いはどこにもない。
先の巫女様の崩御以来誰か身ごもった妃などは。
さあ、私はあいにく皆見定めようとしている。こたびの狩りの主賓、すなわち帝の弟君が行為を継ぐにふさわしい人物であるかどうか。ジンス様はシャオマオに真実を伝えられたのだろうか。今後起こりうる問題に対処するためにも知らせておく必要がある。
Wow.
それだけ。
She really is that useful.
使える手は多い方がいい。
異国のものだ。おそらく裁縫の最新型だろう。
裁縫か。鏡合わせのように瓜二つの特使たち。監視の目をかいくぐって部屋を抜け出したという話もおそらく特使たちのことだろう。子をはらんだ例え話の妹のように関係を目論んでいたか、それとも
Is that what was in the box?
何か吐いてくれたらいいけど。
少しいいか。
なぜここに宴に出てたんじゃないのか。どんな顔をしているのか見なくてもわかる。気にしておりません。こちらこそ申し訳ありませんでした。私は昔から人の心の機微には疎い。いくら泣こうが仕事が終わるまで放置された。そのうち悟ったのか、泣かない赤子になったらしい。だからなのか、人の行為にも悪意にも鈍感だ。私は何も口にしません。私にとってジンス様はジンス様です。これが正直な気持ちだ。甘があるかないかの違いなんて別に見るわけでもないし、私には関係ない。
I think you gave him relief in a way you don't understand.
警戒するな。これを渡したいだけだ。お前には迷惑をかけるかもしれないが、
これは
今回の旅に来てもらったのも
No, it's the wrong time! It sucks!
非常に貴重とされる牛の胆
She's not gonna listen.
目にまで見た飛躍が今。
ってそうではなく、
ありがとうございます。
Aww.
ではおやすみなさいませ。誰にも邪魔されたくない。ジンス様が宦官かどうかなんてどうでもいい。豪分の恩はある。もし秘密がバレて窮地に立たされたら、その時はちゃんと本物の宦官にしてあげよう。
おい、聞いているのか。おい、 その話は最後まで聞け。
この国で花の文字を冠する者は今現在2人のみ。国の頂点に立つ帝、そして
ジン様。いえ、
The Moon Prince.
月の君。いつまでも仮初めの立場ではいられませんよ。あなたはこの国の帝の弟君、カズイゲツなのだから。
That's his real name.
Okay, that was the Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode 12. We have a name. A real name.
Yeah.
A true name. It comes from Goshen, so we can trust it.
That's a good point to bring up, like, the character that is the one telling us.
Yeah. Zuigetsu.
Yes, and Ka is reserved for the Emperor, and then, obviously, Jinshi is the prince, the younger brother to the Emperor. And I just thought of something. So Ka, I think we say that it's, like, flower is, I guess, like, the translation to Ka, and obviously it's reserved. Or at least it has some sort of reverence to it. When we do our little makeover and we change our name, we make it Jinka, and we put Ka in it. And Mao Mao even, like, talks about, oh, flower, you know, talks about the name itself that Jinshi has chosen. And now I'm like, oh my god, full circle moment where that name probably felt to him like I'm combining my two personas, if you will, to create a third persona.
Yeah. Man, the idea of Jinshi being the character Jinshi makes so much sense in terms of how fragile at the moment, like, an heir is, and to the Emperor, like, not having a confirmed son being born yet. I wonder what it would mean for Jinshi if the Emperor does have a son. Like, will Jinshi be able to finally, like, retire at, like, per se? Like, I imagine one of the reasons why Jinshi is often in the rear palace and around the concubines is to ensure and hope and try to do his best at producing a male heir so that he himself wouldn't be the heir.
Protect the concubines, therefore they can have healthy childbirth, and then the children continuing to live past being born. We have a line from him a while back walking across a bridge being like, can the Emperor please hurry up and have an heir? Like, to him, it's like, please, for my sake, for who I want to be and my future, he wants an heir to be born. Therefore, it tells me if I can start to try to understand what he actually wants. Because we know that he's doing this Jinshi act in a way that is, yes, I'm doing what the Emperor wants, but to do this, I then am closer to getting to do what I want to do, and yet we don't fully know what it is that he wants.
So there's two lines of thinking that I'm going down in terms of telling Mao Mao who Jinshi actually is, and I'm wondering how you feel about them. One being Jinshi's route, and why he wants to tell Mao Mao. If it's because he wants to tell Mao Mao and get his feelings across and just to have her know the truth, potentially have them have a relationship in the future. We do get shown last episode not only the conversation with Jinshi's mother, but, you know, the conversation where we're alluding to that, but also the second being one that I'm genuinely a bit fearful of, which is Goshen's side of Mao Mao knowing things. And that is very important. And Mao Mao, upon she may be, but an important one, if Mao Mao is operating under false pretense or false assumption, then Mao Mao will not be able to be utilized or be as effective as she would be if she's given all of the correct information. I'm worried that Mao Mao might have might not see something in time, whether for her own safety, Jinshi's or Goshen's or Basen's, because of not being able to piece everything together, because her lack of knowledge that Jinshi is in fact the Moon Prince.
There's a few different places to go here. Oh, okay. So the first is just to talk about your two different, like, why we want to reveal information to Mao Mao. Obviously, two different characters have slightly different reasons and motivations. For Jinshi, it's an ache. it's within him an aching feeling of wanting to be able to be his true self around this person. And he's even said before that he doesn't see her as a pawn. And we know that Goshen likes Xiao Mao. We know that he likes Mao Mao a lot. Basen even says last episode, like, I don't know why my dad likes her so much. He does like her, he does care about her, but he is also looking at it from his position, being in the Ma clan, being the protector of the crown prince, if you will. And
Angered Empress. That was an interesting line.
That he knows that she'd be useful in the near future. Obviously, both very valid feelings and perspectives of why Mao Mao should learn the truth. But to go to what you started saying at the end, of what the danger is of Mao Mao not knowing the truth, it's so right. Like, she even says it. I think she's opening it up for us a bit at the beginning of the episode. She brings up that she's fully aware that she's subconsciously kind of blocking some things. She's aware that there is a barrier put up that she is consciously and subconsciously keeping up, and she knows there's multiple reasons why it might be upsetting to other people that she has that up, but there isn't yet a risk of safety of, oh, if I have this up where I'm subconsciously or consciously ignoring information, there's going to be a risk factor. It hasn't clicked for her, obviously, because she doesn't know the full circumstance, what the risk factor of her not being privy to this information is. We know that if she's trying to ignore even the little details that show who Jinshi really is, then she might ignore little details showing who Jinshi really is that are assassination plots.
So I am probably way over like honing in on this or over thinking about it. So I apologize, but I do, one of the best things to do in discussions for us that I enjoy about is really just taking it in different potential routes that it could go. Mao Mao could potentially be in the worst possible situation in terms of what the actual truth is because of because of her intake of the situation, what she's read, right? I mean that specifically by, if Mao Mao, one possible reality, again, I apologize if I sound stupid, one possible reality Mao Mao could be living in right now is that Jinshi is just, there is a secret, sure, but that secret is actually that Jinshi is a eunuch, but he never actually got, it taken away.
Yeah.
And because of that, there could be rumors that that Jinshi could be having affairs with concubines, or like he could be having delegitimate kids that could be seen as the emperors, and the idea of what Jinshi's secret is could be completely off base of what it actually is. It's not just, oh, there is no secret and Jinshi's just a eunuch. Now there is a secret, it's been confirmed, but it could go in a totally different direction than what the secret actually is.
Yeah, if you get a major secret like that, do you really think there's more than that major secret? To Mao Mao, the fact that he's not actually a eunuch or hasn't
there
actually
is a
had
massive
removed,
frog, and that's a secret.
It's like, whoa, okay, there can't be anything else because that's already huge. And also,
it is huge.
Like you brought up, somewhat.
Yeah.
You brought up, like, the risk factor of, like, could he be impregnating concubines? He's so close to them and he's allowed to be so close to them, and then they wouldn't actually be heirs of the emperor.
It's just an interesting way to take it. You could stop there. I don't know or don't think that necessarily we're following through with that false idea of what the secret is, but I just think it's interesting to bring up because it could go a lot of different routes. And God, the frog. I will never look at a frog the same, ever.
From that thought, I want to go to her at the end when they kind of come back together over the incident, if you will, over the frog, when they're separated by the door. Mao Mao, she's already kind of told us, given us a glimpse of why her heart is the way that it is, why her attachment to people or lack thereof is the way that it is. And here again, she gives us yet another example of why she views that she doesn't understand people or feelings as well as someone else might. but we have a Mao Mao here that does honestly feel bad about the choices that she's making in this episode. The active choice she's still making, though with the Ox Bazaar being added in, of course everything else would go out the window. I could excuse her behavior there, but other than the Ox Bazaar being introduced, she's fully aware that what she's doing is hurtful, and she knows that she knows that he had something important to say, and he hasn't yet gotten to say it to her.
It went a step further than acknowledging or noticing that Jinshi was feeling upset and mad that what he was trying to say wasn't getting through and Mao Mao wasn't letting it happen. She looked at that situation and understood how it was unfair to him and his feelings.
Yeah, like she's aware that what she's doing is causing something in him and can probably even understand exactly what that is. And she says that she knows it's because he didn't get to say anything, but then it's all like we see her in real time then cling onto the frog, if you will.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, but that's probably the real thing that would have him upset here, and I'll apologize for that. As if that was what really mattered in that situation to him, that's what he was really upset about, that's what she really needed to apologize about. And so it's like in real time we're seeing her acknowledge something that she doesn't want to acknowledge and then kind of move it to the side in real time, actively, just like, boop, okay. He wanted to say something and I know he's upset he didn't get to say it, but frog.
Yeah.
That's why he's upset.
Man, if I'm Jinshi, I would be... I feel so bad if Mao Mao is the person I'm interested in when it comes to very, like, intimate, interactions. Like, okay, you're wondering what you're touching, it has to be the frog. Whatever, if I'm Jinshi, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Number 2, okay, wait, but you're a eunuch, so yeah, definitely has to be a frog, right? Okay, I can deal. But then it's like, just the person that Mao Mao is, and her utter curiosity on a platonic nature. Last episode, I'm talking about CPR and
how
and
you're
the kiss
able to disassociate
and it's
away
objective.
From it. Yeah.
I'm Mao Mao in that case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mao Mao's feeling a lot of frog and moving around the frog because she's objectively curious and very not observant of what the other end of the person is feeling and how they're dealing with what's happening and their curiosity. That's strictly objective. Yeah.
She is strictly objective when it comes to the human body in general normally. I mean, like we referenced it I think in the discussion of last episode. Like Lee Haku, we had to study his body to make sure that he was good enough for our sister, you know?
Yeah. Man. So we get a scene, I was trying to bring it up in the episode The Moon Fairy.
Ooh, and he's the Moon Prince.
Yeah, right? But between Isla and Ailin, and once they have the interaction with the Moon Fairy, we do get a close-up of them saying, fine then. And it zooming out, and it's a box, and it does quite resemble...
It's a wooden box.
Yeah.
It looks like it has a grain to it.
Is it that out of pocket to suggest that that's what Mao Mao is connecting, and we can confirm that? And
because Mao Mao imagines it herself, that the box of guns is being handed over by one of the envoys.
Yeah.
Because she's piecing together that could possibly... It's
from
the West, you know? What else could come from the West? We've already had instances of things that surprised us or that we had to get rid of in the Rear Palace because they had come from the West and people had a lack of understanding, maybe everything about it. They were smuggled in. Who knows? This is another example of that, and she pieces it together. What she's gonna do with the fact that she's figuring out what that story of the two identical twins really meant, and then maybe piecing together where the guns came from, what she's gonna do with that.
Interesting.
At the moment, it doesn't seem like it seems like she's in her place of, conjecture. Don't think about it too much, Mao Mao. It's just conjecture at this point. You know, you'll get in trouble if you speak on anything. That's probably the frame of mind she's in, or it's like this is probably over and done with to some degree. Who knows?
Also, I'm worried because, like, psychologically, right? If I was thinking, or let's say we were having a very important conversation, or I would deem it important about something within our relationship or our life, and then I'm on the verge of having a revelation about something really important to us, but then somebody knocks on my door and hands me a check for $1 million and or Access+More, I probably won't be able to remember what I was on the verge of thinking because of because of what came next and what big thing. Like, I wonder if that will be lost on us now at all.
That's a good point to bring up. What was she was thinking about the kind of seeds that have been planted and how they might connect, the roots might connect right before this interaction. And now everything's wiped. What Jinshi could have been wanting to tell her is wiped. What she could have been thinking before this interaction is wiped. She is now so focused on what is in front of her. And as we know, I feel like the only romantic moment, or like on the cusp of oh my god moment, the end of season 2, he's carrying her.
End of season 1?
Yeah, end of season 1. He's carrying her, and she's looking at him very intensely. He's kind of like, oh, okay, like, wait. Like, it's almost like a, does she have feelings for me too kind of moment? And then she's like, Access+More, you know? Like, this has been a thing that she has been really wanting for a very long time. And she now has it.
I wrote down, one of the first things I wrote this episode, I didn't write a lot because I was so, tuned in, but I wrote poor Loen getting framed with the arrows. I felt so bad for my man. Obviously, at the end, it seemed like he was fine. It did look like he was
having fun. If that was him, it did look like he was having fun.
But that has taken years off of this man's life. I feel so.
No
him
wonder
and his entire
he'd be getting drunk at this party after. Like, damn, that was a scary time I had today. It does make sense. They did a good job at, they set bait. They had someone who could have taken the fall.
Good dog.
The dog, gotta love him, kind of want to keep him.
Yeah, Lee Haku and his grin that he made several times this episode was perfect. I loved it so much. It was so like, yep, let's go.
Yeah, and Basen's just like, why do I keep getting stuck with these people?
Man, I really love Basen as a character. Every time, we don't get him too often on screen, but there's so much that comes with him every time we do, whether it's his relationship with Jinshi, his respect for Jinshi, his disdain for Mao Mao. I love him so much, but what really shined this episode to me was how quick and observant he was in what was actually being sent to him in terms of a message within Jinshi's clothing, and also his interpretation of what Shisho was doing and how he never has been easy to try to figure out what he was thinking.
Basen paints me, to me, he's painted as, he's so fresh to the role of protector of Jinshi in the Ma clan that
Goshin said he wasn't ready yet.
I wanted to bring that up too. Basen's not ready yet. Goshin is able to view Mao Mao the way he does, favorably and useful, while also not acknowledging the fact that she's also a risk factor. He's able to still like her and see her as a possible benefit to them, because I think from time and experience and wisdom. And also maybe some more patience. But Basen is so much more new to actually being in the role of protector of Jinshi that all he sees is the red. He sees the red light. He sees Mao is just a girl and she could totally blow everything up. You know, not worth the risk to him. He's like, why are we even letting this happen? It's too risky.
It's interesting because he's not like dismissive to the point of, this is a stupid decision. It's like, but it's not yet at the like, ooh, inquisitive nature of, well, let me really see why they always have her around. It's acknowledging that she's there and they want her there. There must be a reason, but
he knows that she's smart and he knows that she is able to piece information together. I'm also taken back to when she did save Jinshi's life. He is like immediately angry with her and she's like, why am I getting yelled at like this? So I feel like it will take him some more time. Like he's able to see the objective truths, but his feelings are not yet there and able to fully acknowledge that she could be useful and that he should maybe give her a little more care in his thoughts alone. But in terms of Basen, I feel like I want to possibly connect the he's not ready with him believing that Shisho didn't know. He, in his feelings as he's standing there at the party while Jinshi and Mao Mao are missing, he's like, yeah, I can't read what Shisho thinks, but he's not acting like someone that knows what's going on.
Yeah.
That knows that there was an assassination attempt. And I'm like, am I supposed to connect him being viewed as not ready with the fact that he doesn't believe in this moment that anything seems off with Shisho? Because he's like, oh, well, if he truly knew something was wrong or he was a part of it, he could have ended the party early. But he's acting, a certain way. Even though I don't know what he's thinking, I don't think he's acting like someone who knows what's happening.
See, Shiso is such a scary character because I firmly believe that Shiso could have no direct involvement with the assassination, but have coordinated the whole thing. Like in terms of like long con, saying things to saying things to intentionally elicit responses from people, but without actually saying anything at all. And it's also interesting that he kept the party going 2 hours long, right? On one end, it's respectful. You're waiting for somebody to come back like that, but it could have several meanings.
Or you're giving the assassination party more time to actually kill the person. Yeah.
Man.
Obviously, I'm going to be suspicious of him until they tell me with concrete evidence that I was all wrong the entire time. And even then, I will probably be a little surprised, but I'll be like, okay, if you say so. If you say so.
Do you think we're going to be leaving Shiokusu after this episode?
Yeah, we're definitely leaving after this episode in my mind. That leads me to then we will be arriving back at the rear palace. And what that means is the near future that Goshen paints is going to be coming up to us. The near future is once we arrive back to the rear palace, what is in the cards? Why is it that things are more dangerous now? Is there a reason that there's more attempts on Jinshi's life now, on the Crown Prince's life now? What is ramping up and what is to come in the near future? As Goshen's like, there is something to come in the near future that Mao Mao needs to be privy to this information for, to be useful for. We are about to get into whatever that is, but that leads me to how the public views the Crown Prince. That's something that we get in this episode that we can talk about. It seems like there's no respect for him. Not that they've been really given reason to have lots of respect for him. He seems to be a shut-in, seems to be maybe sickly, always wears a mask, there's all these rumors he's hiding scars, all of these different things that, of course, they're maybe not going to view this person as someone that they're willing to trust the government, like everything to be the emperor. But they're also openly saying how they feel about the Crown Prince in a way where it seems like it's almost commonplace to talk bad about him in party settings where people are getting drunk. This guy's acting like it's very common to the guy that's talking to Gaushin is it seems like he's talking in a way where he's like he's had conversations like this before. It's almost like one of the known topics for these drunk officials to talk about is, let's talk shit about the prince.
Well, it's completely manufactured on the emperor's end and Jinshi's end, right? Like the public's idea and perception of who the crown prince is and what his, presence is. Like, because in the same conversation we're talking about Jinshi as well, and like, oh, too bad the beautiful eunuch couldn't join us, and that being so separated and divided from the prince itself. I think it all ties back to the fragility of the lack of an heir other than Jinchi and who he actually is.
So yeah, like you brought up, like the fabrication on the emperor's end. Like we know that he fabricated Jinchi. It's the emperor's kind of plan that Jinchi exists. But where was the origin of masking the crown prince and coming up with these rumors and this intrigue? Like, yes, it's probably a fabrication. Did you not want him to appear as a threat or a possible good leader?
Well, I think it's so that Jinshi can exist. I don't think you could have... It's so that two people can be in the same place at once. Without having the masked prince, Jinshi
But when did we start that? When did we start masking the prince, therefore being able to create the availability for Jinshi to exist?
I think when Jinshi was created, or like all along in that sense.
But like the idea that the crown prince isn't maybe viewed as the possibility of ever being able to be a good leader makes him not a threat. But maybe people are starting to realize the truth like maybe Shisho, and that is why there are assassination attempts. That is why the prince actually has a target on his back. Like, you actually could be a threat. You actually could become emperor someday.
Well, no, surely, yeah, but that's of course the case. But I think, if I'm understanding what you're saying, I'm a bit confused. But I like the idea of Jinshi being Jinshi. If anybody was to know, the difference in attempts on his life would be so interesting to think about.
Like, why would you kill Jinshi?
No, like the added risk if people did know, because he's out in the open, you know?
Oh, well, yeah, it probably happened way more often.
Yeah. Man. Okay, I had one more thing. I'm trying to think about what it was. What's been taken from us by it being a secret of the frog this episode? What's been taken from us? We are going to have no reaction or interpretation of the situation from Gyokyu, and I'm devastated by it. We're not going to get any funny comments. We're not going to get any. We're going to be able to sense something in the air that there's uncomfortability, but nothing specific.
We don't get to have Jinshi thinking that Mao Mao spent a night of pleasure with Lihaku, and then Gyokyu giggling about it from behind a door. We don't get to have that. You're right that is a shame. I think I have one last thing, and it's that I want to reread, rehear, rewatch one of the lines of dialogue, and then Jinshi's follow-up line when we are separated by the door.
Okay. Can you give me a little bit of context to pull it up?
Yeah. We're looking for the "You'll always be Master Jinshi to me" line.
Yeah. And then her resolve in the fact that that is true.
Mm-hmm. But I wanted to hear like what he says after that again, and his reaction to her saying that.
No matter what, you will always be Master Jinshi to me. And he is immediately like surprised to hear it, but then definitely a bit of relief on his face. Those are my honest feelings. Whether he is a eunuch or not has nothing to do with me, since it's not like I'm going to see them. I see. I will always be me in your view.
The amount of relief that Mao Mao has given him without her even realizing. I think it brings us to something that we were talking about in terms of, will their dynamic change once she learns information? To him, he's probably a little worried about that too, to some degree. Like, if Mao Mao knows the truth about him, is she gonna treat him differently? Are they not gonna be the same as they have been from the very beginning? But hearing that she is always going to treat him the same way, he is a crown prince. People never treat him probably authentic to how they actually would want to treat him because of who he is. And being Master Jinshi, he's then treated a specific way because he's Master Jinshi. To hear that across the board, he is going to be treated as just who he is and me, as he says, by the person that he seems to like and has a lot of care for. Oh, that feels so good.
See, it does. And I'm sure at the end of the day, if you really play it through, that is the truth, but it isn't the truth. Because, like, that's not what Mao Mao's saying. If Mao Mao actually knew the truth, Mao Mao, like we talked about it in last episode, like, what would Mao Mao's actual change in disposition be upon learning Jinshi's true identity? She is a very polite person and knows her place and standing. I think immediately she'd be like, oh my god, okay, yes, sorry, I back off. And Jinshi'd be like, whoa, no, you don't have to do that. You said you'd always be the same and treat me like Master Jinshi. You know?
I could hear them having a replay of this one line of conversation. I could hear that being like, remember, you said this. You said that I'll always be Master Jinshi to you.
Yeah.
You'll always view me as me.
All right.
Okay.
You good?
Yes, I think so.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We hope to see you next time.